Okay, well, out on the table here in front of us today, we have a lot of the stuff that we acquired from the auction and also a few of the items that we got from Bedford Street Antiques. Now, the stuff from the auction, if you watch that video, the way that worked is Andrew and I joined Eric at one of his auctions. And I kind of went around and just picked out the items that I liked. I personally did not bid on the items because that's always been my fear of auctions, is that I would get carried away.
You're not allowed to bid.
I'm not allowed to bid. So I showed them the items that I liked and kind of went through and said, now I think this is what I can get for this and this is what I could get for that. I've since kind of adjusted those numbers a little bit after doing research and actually looking at the items a little closer. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. But then both Andrew and Eric went through and bid on the items.
And we bought the stuff and
and then, you know,
brought it home, and here we are with another pile of goodies.
Yes. So our total spend on the items on the table from the auction was $300.
Correct.
So that was our take from the auction. And I'm not sure about the stuff from Bedford, but we'll get to that. So we're gonna talk about the stuff from the auction. Now, if you watch that video, I kind of went through and just real quick off the top of my head without knowing what the items were and just looking at them. And I said, I can get $40 for that, I can get 20 for that, I can, you know, and that was just me spitballing and kind of knowing, okay, that's a blue glass bowl and that's a such and such, and I don't know, and I know like generally what I get for these items. But now we're gonna take a little bit closer look now that I've got them home, I've unwrapped them, I've done a little research, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about them.
I got a good score that's not on the table. I don't know if any of you are familiar with what a Riker mount is, but a lot of relic hunters will use them for displays. They're just a very thin display box, and they had a whole stack of them. There was 11 of them, I think. And they're the large size, and they're roughly anywhere about 15, 16, 17 bucks for that large size. I got $7 a piece. Like,
not bad.
That was a killer buy. That was a great buy.
And that's great because we do a lot of metal detecting, so it's, you know, for shows and stuff, it's great to show off our finds.
Yep.
So, and
those things can get expensive, so if you can find them at an auction and you can get them for a few bucks a piece, they're worth every cent. They're great for resellers too, where if you have a booth in an antique mall or a shop and you have some really tiny smalls, you can put them in the Riker mounts and market them that way. So.
Yep. So let's go through this stuff.
Yes.
First of all, I want to talk about some of this stuff. Now, at the end of the auction, if you watch the video, basically at the very end of the auction, you know, people bid on these box lots. So it's this box of stuff, and you may have one item in that box that you want, and you don't want anything else in the box. So when the auction is over, you can take that one item and you can leave the rest behind. You're not obligated to take everything. You could take the one item that you were bidding on, leave the rest behind, and the auction house comes around at the very end and throws everything in the dumpster.
Well, there's also a lot of people that'll go back through and pick through those boxes.
Yeah.
So
Yes, there are a lot of people that do that, which is kind of nice. I was one of those people.
Yeah. So the stuff does sit there, and there are things people don't want. So you can go back through, look at it. I go to auctions, and as a matter of fact, there was like 3 kids, and the one table of stuff that Eric had bought, he went through, he told him, he says, hold on, let me finish going through the stuff. He went through all the stuff, he made his pile of what he wanted to keep, whatever he didn't want. He said, all right, guys, you can go through anything from here down, and whatever you want, you can have.
Yeah.
And they made like a whole little box of toys and stuff
really cute.
that they took from there. And
I wanted to film it so bad, but I don't film people's kids.
Yes.
So I was like, no, I'm not going to film it. But they were so excited to go through this stuff. It was so cute. But yeah, so you can go through this stuff. And I picked a few things out of the left behinds. So I'll talk about that stuff first. A few of those things were actually purses. A few purses.
It reduces the cost average.
Yeah, exactly. So a few of the things that got left behind were these purses. This one was probably my favorite that got left behind, just because it's vintage and I kind of liked the way it opened.
Yeah, and I like the handles.
Yeah, it's not marked anywhere, but I just really liked the shape of it and I thought it was neat. So that was a left behind. So
a nice evening bag.
Yeah, it's cute. Another one was this metal purse. This is funny because it has an Italian name Carlo Fellini, but it's made in China. Not made in Italy. But it's just a little metal purse, and I liked the shape of it. I liked that it was kind of shell-shaped.
Yeah.
And another one was this purse.
Oh, that one's cool.
Yeah. So these were just some of the purses that I grabbed because I thought they were neat. And then one of the last items I grabbed from the Left Behinds
Go figure.
was a lamp. And it was this lamp. And I just really liked the dainty flowers on that little milk glass insert. And it just needs a hurricane top.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, the marble's in good condition. Even the metal has like minimal oxidation. So it's a nice lamp.
Does it need to be rewired?
It does need to be rewired, and I did detail that in the listing.
Okay.
But I just thought it works. I plugged it in. I tested it. It works, but I always recommend rewiring.
And not only
lamps.
that, I'm looking at the cord and I can see the dry rot in the cord.
I know, yeah.
And that's definitely an indication.
Works, but I would not recommend using it.
Yeah. Please change the cord.
Yes, so those were a few items that I just picked out of the Left Behind. So I saw this bowl here, and it kind of reminded me of Polish pottery, and I didn't actually realize it was Irish until after we bought it. I just thought it was really pretty. I liked the flowers on it, and after we bought it, I said, "Oh, look, it has Ireland on the bottom." This bowl right here sells for $45 to $65. It is Nicholas Moss, and it's a large serving bowl. But it's a really nice heavy-duty pottery bowl, and it's just a pretty floral design.
Yes.
I like it.
And it's on the inside and outside
Yeah.
too. It's a little more colorful on the outside with the white. Mm-hmm. I really like that.
I like that. And when we were going through, I think I said I could get $45 for that, so I was a little pleased to figure out that it was a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. That's always a nice... I love those.
I know this Cobalt is just
I gotta think.
beautiful.
I love Cobalt Glass.
Now I couldn't actually find comps for these two bowls. We got these two Cobalt bowls. This one has the
This one's
gold.
Czechoslovakia.
Yes, this one's not marked. This one's super heavy though. This one's like really heavy, but it's got beautiful gold on there. I think for these I could probably get, I want to say 30 to 35 each.
Yeah. I'm just looking to see if how crude the glass is.
Yeah.
To see if it's maybe older, full of bubbles or something, but
Yeah, because I couldn't find any comps in that.
So I'm gonna guess this is probably a stickered item made post turn of the century.
It's still really pretty.
Oh, it's gorgeous. I mean, the gold is hand done.
I think it was probably part of a console set, and it probably had candlesticks to go with it.
That's hand painted on there,
Yeah.
so that's nice. This one's all hand done too. With that, what's that, moriage?
Yeah, it's an enamel, a white enamel,
and
flower
then-
baskets and swags.
And this one's marked Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, I really like that one.
I do too. Yeah, that's pretty stuff.
We got this piece right here. Now
You spotted that,
I
and
did.
you went like totally.
I was totally crazy over this.
Crazy. I think that's amazing.
It is amazing. And some of these pieces.
What is the technique? How do they do that?
So this is a crystalline glaze. And it looks like snowflakes or like frost on a window.
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
what I really like about this glaze technique. And I didn't even know anything. I'd never seen it before until last year. I was at Goodwill and I found a vase that had this glazing technique, and the viewers actually were like, "Oh, that's crystalline glaze." So that's how I knew what it was, because I had researched that vase prior and realized like this stuff can sell for really good money. So the bottom of this is marked Dover. And we're not too far from Dover, Pennsylvania. I assumed that was what it was, but it's actually Dover pottery, and it's in Seagrove, North Carolina.
Oh.
And they're known for their potteries. And this is just, it's
So you were
absolutely
actually able to get a nice attribution on the piece
Yes.
of the potter. That's
And
that's
so
awesome.
these sell from $100 to $150. But because this piece, the colors in this piece, I think it could go for more.
That's awesome.
Because I was looking at some of the other pieces and the colors weren't the same. This is just
That is like
the variations in the colors and the way the background is kind of this beigey peach in some places, and then in others it's, it's just, This camera doesn't really do it justice. From
Even
when
like
we
right here,
first-
you got the rainbow effect.
Yeah.
There's like rainbow effect to the background with bluish, grayish icicles.
There's so many colors in it.
Yeah.
And I just saw it. I lost it when I saw that. I'm like, we have to have that. I don't care how much you'll pay for it. We
And
need
then
it.
when you look on the inside of this too, even the way they do the glaze, it like rolls down the inside in lines.
Isn't it neat?
Oh, this is so cool.
Yeah, that was like
love
one of
the
my
color of
favorite lines.
That's killer.
Let's see. We've got pigs.
A sow.
This guy.
It's a sow.
I know. Everybody was like, that's a female pig. That's not a guy. I'm like, oh, shit.
Not a hog, it's a sow.
We were getting eBay messages and YouTube comments and
But you know what?
Facebook
No, that's
messages.
good. No,
Yeah.
because you know what? It helps. It actually helps,
And I,
because
like-
next time we won't make that mistake.
No.
And
But in my head, like, I really knew it was a female pig. I just, like, verbalized something else. And so it was kind of like, oh, shoot.
yeah.
I just, like, it's so ugly. It's cute. It's one of those. She's great. So
She's cool.
I'm not even sure how much I could get for her, but
There's fingerprints in her ears. Oh yeah,
yeah, of
that's all
course.
hand. Oh yeah, you can see the
yeah,
fingerprints of this.
she's hand-me, and she's dated February 2003. And the other side has
JB.
JB. I mean, that's the only thing on there is just initials. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
And I tried looking up JB pottery. I could not find anything. I don't know. But I really liked that pig and I had to have
She's got a
it.
big old booty.
Oh, poor piggy. So this piece right here was actually in with the blue bowls, and it was so funny because I was going through that box, and I'm so excited about the cobalt stuff. I think there was some other stuff
You were
in there
like,
too.
oh, clear.
Yeah, and it was clear, and I just completely ignored it. And then here comes Eric behind me, and he's looking at it, and that's the first thing he grabs out of the box. He's like, "Oh, it's baccarat, like crystal."
Yeah.
I'm like, "What?" And he picks it up. That's like $100. It's either a jam jar or a sugar bowl.
Oh, I love that sound.
So I believe the sugar bowl is a little bit bigger, and I think this may be the jam jar, but the pattern is Missouri.
Interesting.
And
For a French piece.
yeah, it's worth about $100. And it's the one piece in the box that I didn't even bother to look at. And it's the first thing that Eric grabbed out of the box. So it's interesting to have that different perspective, you know, something that he grabs immediately and I just like, oh look, Cobalt Glass. You know, it's a fun like to get us all together and we all see things differently and we all
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, because there's things that I go after that you would never think in a million years, and you're like, surprise. So hey, yeah, no, it happens.
Yeah.
This is a cool little set. What do they call this? Cloisonne?
Cloisonne. It's a cute little set.
It is. Here's the lid for the teapot.
Is that a price tag on there?
I think it might be $59.
$59.
But you've got the teapot, you've got the
Little tray.
serving tray,
And all the little cups.
got cup,
Oh, those are cute.
cup,
The little children's tea set.
cloisonne. It's really pretty, and it's
I
got
like
got
that.
birds on it.
Okay, let me get a close up.
There's birds on the cups, and just flowers on the teapot.
And it's so heavy because it's metal and enamel.
And I want to say, more than likely, this was the box that came in at some
Oh
point.
yeah, I'm sure it was.
So, yeah, one set, but it's in Chinese. I'm sorry, I don't speak that. Made in the People's Republic of China. Definitely a vintage piece, no
Yeah.
doubt. So, did you list this one already?
No, not yet.
Okay. I
I
think we
have
should.
almost everything listed except for like 3 items.
I was gonna say we should probably leave the box
Yeah.
included with it.
Yep. Now this is one of the pieces Eric found as he was going through all of the, I think, leftovers even. It's a Limoges plate. It's
Yeah.
hand painted. Let's see if it's gonna focus for you guys. And it's actually marked Christmas 1926. You can see here on the back. It's not the greatest example I've ever seen, but I just like the sentiment of Christmas 1926.
Yeah.
And it's B&C Limoges. They're the ones who manufactured the actual plate, and then of course it was hand painted after the fact. But I like that. For that piece, I would probably expect to get like $15 to $20 for that. Want to talk about these?
Yeah, that's cool. That's done
This
on
was
silk.
neat. Yeah, you would pick this up. I don't know anything about this.
The price tag of $25 on that.
Framed silk.
Paris.
Paris, yeah. Yeah, I don't know how, well, $25 maybe.
Yeah, I know. We'll have to do a little checking on that because it is signed too. It's got a signature on it.
Yeah.
So and I don't know. Some of the artwork can be really, really good. We'll figure this one out.
This is an awesome piece.
That's killer.
I love this.
And the fact that it's not covered in knife marks from being used.
Yeah, there's like no, well, there's a little bit of wear.
They used
there's a little bit of
wood,
scratching.
the inlaid wood, and oh.
There's a mousy on there. This is Karak. I think Eric corrected our pronunciation of it. But I was looking online and some of their trays sell for hundreds.
Yeah.
But just in general, the average price is like $25 to $35. That's like the average of the trays.
I got this for $5.
$5, yep. But yeah, some of them I was looking were like 150. That was kind of like the top.
Yeah.
It kind of caps out at 150. But yeah, probably like 25, 30. So when you come across those,
Check them out. And this one's got the original label on the back too, and it's in really
yeah, is
good.
it marked besides the label?
They should
Yes,
be.
it
Yes,
is.
they are.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it is marked besides the label. They're easy to identify. We got this piece. I love this vase. This was one of the first items we actually saw while we were there.
Looking around,
And
yeah.
it's marked Robert Kalin. And it's a cameo style vase, which means that it's basically the design and then it's cut away. So this is porcelain, and it has his original little brochure. It talks about his technique and how he makes these, and it's really neat. He puts the image on there and then he cuts it away with a sharp needle. But
What kind of bird does that look like?
you're thinking it looks like a grackle.
I'm kind of thinking it does.
I really like it.
kinda
So his whole thing is just wildlife and porcelain. But he's up in New York, and I could not find any comps on that at all. No comps on any of his work.
Interesting.
But I really like that, and I don't know if it's just because of the cameo-ness of it. I mean, Galilei makes beautiful glass cameo vases, and of course this is porcelain, but I really liked it. So I don't know how much that would go for. I would say at least $25, maybe
I would
more.
think so. I would think so, yeah. No, this is really cool because he does it by hand. 2400 degree firing.
Yeah,
That's
because it's
insane.
porcelain. I think porcelain requires a higher temperature than pottery.
And he does it with a pocket knife and little
A little
needles.
needle.
And that's insane. That is like,
It's really neat.
that is some tedious work there.
Did an amazing job though.
And the texture to the bird itself.
I know, that's what I was just feeling.
There's texture in the bird. That's
I love
killer.
that piece.
Okay.
All right.
Did you list that yet?
Yep, it's up.
Damn it. All right.
I told you, everything is up.
Okay.
I'm on top of it.
All right.
So this vase right here is just, it's actually amethyst. It looks
Yeah,
like black glass because it is so dark.
Deep, deep purple.
Yes, but it's
Not the band.
super purple. I didn't know there was a band called Deep Purple.
Mm-hmm.
But this piece right here is Bohemian. I guess there is a difference. Somebody had actually posted something. There's a difference in the leaves. So these are the Bohemian leaves. I guess they kind of look like little like bird feet when it's Bohemian versus when it's Italian. So that's a way that you can tell the difference. And I had never known that. And they posted that on when I posted the picture, and I was like, oh my gosh, I never realized that. So now
So it's the shape of the leaves.
it's the shape of the veins that they put on the leaves.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So, and sure enough, we came home and We had that decanter set.
Yeah.
And that one was Italian because it had an Italian sticker on it, and the leaves were different than this one. So this one is Bohemian, and that one is Italian.
And all the leaves are intact.
Yes, a lot of the petals will chip off.
There isn't. I couldn't find anything wrong with any of the ruffles.
Nope. It's
anywhere
in
on this. This thing is amazing.
Yeah, for that piece, I would probably expect 25 to 30.
Yeah.
It's a nice piece. So let's just get through the rest of this stuff real quick.
Here you go, real quick.
Oh yeah, so this is just a nice art glass basket with a crimped edge. These typically don't sell for a lot of money, but sometimes they're used as bridal baskets. But these will typically sell for like 20 to 25.
We snagged these.
Sterilizer. So they would have had metal lids, which they are missing.
These would have had their Barbasol in them.
Yeah.
And they would have.
The graphics are really nice.
Yes. We just recently had the Witch Hazel bottle. Yeah. And these would go along the same lines as that Witch Hazel bottle we just had. Yeah. These are cool. Yeah. And they're super heavy.
They are heavy.
Like these are like your husband makes you really mad one day and you you're going to jail.
Oh my gosh, I love this thing.
And then you'll be called, your nickname will be the sterilizer.
So those right there without the lids would probably sell for about 30. With the lids, probably more like 45 to 60.
That's cool though. We don't have much into them, so I mean, I'm happy. I'm really happy with the stuff.
I'm so pleased, yeah.
With the stuff we were able to get. This Pottery Pitcher is killer.
It's really nice.
I like the color.
What is it? Salmon Falls stoneware.
Yeah, Dover, New Hampshire. And it's dated 1996.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, because it is Ole Valley,
it's very specific.
It's very specific. So I don't expect that to sell for more than $15 to $20.
Yeah. Otherwise, if it was just without the Ole Valley and it had maybe even a little more floral design to it, maybe even more than that.
Apparently that's blueberries.
That's really cool though.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I like the design. I was actually a little disappointed that it said Ole Valley on it because I thought it was really pretty. And then I'm like, oh, it's so specific.
Yeah. Alright, so what else do we have here?
We've got this little
piece
here. This is a nice little piece. It's possible that it's Bristol, but it's so hard to say with Bristol glass because it's not marked usually.
And they probably, and I'm assuming that there was multiple companies making the same style.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's really hard to say for certain whenever it's Bristol. It's usually by the shape of it.
This has got some killer bubbles in it.
It does.
This is an early piece.
That's an early piece. It's
glass.
a Victorian piece, yeah.
Oh yeah. And this had a Pownell mark on it.
Yeah, that's probably $15 to $18.
Yeah.
Just because a lot of the times the flowers are so faded and worn.
These are very vibrant.
Yeah.
Very
and they're
vibrant.
not worn at all.
No. Very vibrant.
So that's why I would say if it was worn and faded, probably more like $8 to $10. Which is normally the shape that you find them in. They're usually not like that.
Yeah.
So this piece right here, which I made a boo-boo on, we can talk about that for a minute. I listed this, and then somebody in the comments pointed out, oh, that's the lid for that jar. And I'm like, what? Mm-hmm. And sure enough, I had left this behind.
You did, and I knew what it was, and I knew what it matched.
And he grabbed it and put it in our box. So I didn't even know we had this. Mm-hmm. And I was going through listing stuff after I had already listed this, and I found this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we actually have that. So then I put them together.
You're welcome.
I know.
Whoever gets
Trust me, I know. You're welcome. But the best part about it is this right here. You know what freaked me out about this is not for food use.
Right.
And when I see not for food use, I think modern Chinese, not for food use. Right. I don't want that. That's what I think when I see not for food use.
Not all the time.
And I realized that. This was my lesson in that. This was my lesson because this is made by Turtle Creek Pottery.
This is killer.
And it's about $100 piece. And so I learned my lesson.
So what this really reminds me of is like early, like a colonial slip decorated piece of redware. Yes. I mean, this This is a killer piece of pottery.
It's really nice.
And the way that I'm assuming that's a horse.
Yes, it is, because there's a horse on the jar.
The way the crudeness to the horse is exactly how crude this piece would have looked had this been done, say, 1775.
But that's why I liked the horses, because I thought it looked slip decorated, but for some reason I did not like connect them in my head when I saw them both. And be careful that the horse is a little bit like.
Oh, I know.
But the reason that it's not for food use is because it was a lead glaze that was used for it. So that's why it's not for food use. But I saw that and I thought, I don't want something that's not for food use. That's just silly. That's like
but the
modern.
graphics on this thing are amazing.
It is. And I learned my lesson on that, and I'm going to be much careful going forward. So
it's okay. That's why it's good to have multiple eyes on a situation and have a team working together. This is why when I make a mistake, you're able to pick up on it. You make a mistake, I can pick up on it. We try to keep it going, and it works. So.
Yep. All right. Enough about my mistakes. So this
there's a whole little set of
actually
these.
Something that Eric spotted.
Yes.
I don't know how I didn't spot it. I mean, I did, but it didn't compute.
Vintage Fitz and Floyd.
It's a vintage Fitz and Floyd set.
And they are hand painted.
They are hand painted. They are new old stock, I would say, because they all have their original stickers, unless they have fallen off, which I think some have fallen off. But they actually have the Fitz and Floyd stickers. They have the Fitz and Floyd marks.
There is a set of shakers.
Yep.
There are
candlesticks,
multiple napkin rings.
and 4 napkin rings.
Yep.
And they have the stickers. They say hand painted.
These are flipping amazing.
They are awesome. So a set of 2 of the candlesticks sold for $25.
Oh.
And we have a set of 8.
Beautiful.
Of like all different various things.
That's beautiful.
So I'm pretty thrilled with that.
Yes, I would be ecstatic about that.
Let's talk about these guys.
I like Fitz and Floyd stuff.
Me too. And it can sell really well.
I like the look of it though.
Oh, I know. It's so fun.
They do some really cool stuff.
We've got some more Zuni fetishes.
We did, and we got some not Zuni fetish.
Yes, we got this guy. So I had posted him in my Facebook group because he was different than most of what we come across. And I think he's pottery. I don't think he's metal. I mean, I don't think he's metal. He's pottery. Not, I don't think he's stone.
He's not stone.
Yeah, and he had some different things on his back. So I posted him in our Facebook group. He's got like a little satchel.
Yeah, what do they call them? Like a worry bear?
Yeah, a burden bear.
Burden bear, that's it.
So he was different than all the others, and it was suggested that he may just be a souvenir piece. But
I would lean towards that just because it's not.
Yeah, it's not stone. So we got this piece. This actually has an original price on it of $156.
Yeah.
And it's marked Frank Tom, who I guess is the artist of it. It is a bear.
That thing with those turquoise fish. Oh my God. The salmon made out of turquoise. And his eyeballs are turquoise.
He's really neat. Now, we were debating what kind of material he's made out of, because I do think that he's stone.
Giant grizzly bear.
I don't know. Like, that was the one thing about listing these that I had trouble with, is because
I don't think he's stone.
Don't know what kind of materials they're made out of. And so in the listing, I even said, I'm like, I don't know what kind of materials these are made out of. Please look closely at the photos.
He is a molded.
Some people were saying they were jet. And I don't know what jet is.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But the fish are definitely... Don't lick it. Please don't lick it. But anyway, we've got this guy here.
He's cool. He is neat. Indicative of the Zuni stuff.
Yes, the stuff that we have seen and that we do have that we need to
The shape of the arrowhead on top is right.
We've got this little guy who's a little bit more plain. And it was suggested that this one might be Jasper. We've got a little pig and an elephant. I don't know where the elephant comes in. I don't think the elephant is Zuni.
I think this guy would be missing the
I don't think
wrap.
he comes with one because I was finding others just like that and none of them had
no
it.
wrap on it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think some have the wrap and some do not. We've got this. I'm just going through this box.
I love the little jade pig.
This is a sugar shaker or a muffiner. You can see it has the cork in the bottom. It is made in Japan, but I just really liked the painting work on there.
The Muffin Man, the Muffin Man.
So
Muffineer, not Muffin Man.
Yes. So I really like this piece. This is probably $15 to $18.
I like that.
It's a pretty piece.
What else you got in there?
I've got this Mexican folk art pig by Ortega Pottery. This is actually I was looking at other pieces by Ortega and they're so cool and whimsical and like all these crazy colored animals. Like their pottery is so neat. And I'm gonna have to keep my eyes open for this. Like it's worth decent money. I mean, it's not like something that's crazy, but it's worth decent money. And I love that guy.
Isn't he the cutest little mustache?
I know. He's great. He would have been perfect for Valentine's Day.
He would have, yes.
And I'm a little bummed that we missed it, but I really like him. Him, I would expect probably 20 for.
Yeah.
It sucks that he doesn't have a stopper. So the only way to get
Your money out is to either... Actually, you know what, though? As long as you don't put any bills in there, the slot is pretty wide.
You could probably stick a knife in there and
jingle it out, yeah. But other than that, no, he's super cool.
Oh, we forgot this guy.
Oh, yes.
He's probably him and the turquoise.
The black grizzly bear.
Yeah, they're my two favorites bears out of this.
I have to bring the other box back over from the building.
Yeah, we do.
We're going to get those listed. I'm going to
We've
bring
got
those
some
over
really
today.
phenomenal, if you guys haven't been with the channel, we've got some phenomenal Zuni figurines. I might try to get those listed tonight.
I'll bring them over today.
So by the time you see this video, they
They'll be
might
up.
be listed. But I really like this guy. And I don't know what stone he's made of. Like, these are so out of my wheelhouse, it's painful. And
They
that's
inlay little pieces of turquoise in it too. It's insane.
And that's the one thing you guys have to understand. And some of this stuff doesn't get listed. And the reason for it is when I'm out of my comfort zone with something, I'm
sits.
really reluctant. It does
sits.
sit. I'm so reluctant to list it because I don't want to be wrong about it. Because when I'm wrong about something,
We get 500 messages.
we get 500 messages telling me that I'm wrong. And so I'm just like, I don't want to be wrong. I can't be wrong. I can't list
No, don't get me wrong. We do appreciate some additional
do.
information when we
We
can
do.
get when we
long as
we
it's
don't want to
kind.
pass off wrong information. Yes, please be kind about it. That's all we ask. We love the feedback. We love the information. Just be kind about it because I do get the occasional message where it's like the comments. I shouldn't be reading it.
Yeah, and it does. You know, there are stuff that I could write a description for in my sleep, and then there's stuff like this where I'm at a loss, and I'm trying my best.
I know.
But it's tough. So let's. So we've got this. This is
Adorable.
Metropolitan Museum of Art. It's a reproduction, probably sold in the gift shop. And that's indicated by the MMA on the bottom. That's usually what that means. So this right here, I'm thinking like 10 to 12. Maybe
Their pieces are really cool.
we could get more, but only because it's almost Easter, and then I feel like the bunnies and the rabbits are going to be selling for a little bit more.
It's a Dalmatian bunny. Look at the black polka dots on it.
A Dalmatian bunny.
It's like a Dalmatian and a bunny together.
You're silly. So then we've got this BBP piece. Now, I don't know much about BBP. And honestly, I didn't know much about Eldrith until you as viewers started guiding me towards Eldrith, and I got really excited about it, and I started learning more about it and selling more of it. And so sometimes I come across this BBP stuff, and I get like, oh, is that Eldrith? And I turn it over and it says BBP. But I've found that this stuff does not sell nearly as well as Eldrith. And even in doing my research, I searched highest sold BBP, and it was like $65 was like the most any of their pieces had sold for in the last 30 days or whatever the history of eBay is. And I was like, whoa. Like, so that's just an indicator, like...
This has got like a darker yellowish look to it than the Eldritch
I think
stuff.
it's really nice.
I would
dislike expect it to be worth more, honestly.
Yeah.
But
they do a nice job with the blue.
They do.
Where they put the blue and how they accented it, they did a nice job, even on the legs, to give you an idea that he's got feet.
I would expect it to be worth more. It's one of those things where I would expect it to be worth more, and I might, if I'm not like cognizant of it, I might spend more on it. Shut off on us. But yeah, I mean, if I'm not aware of it not being worth very much, I might buy it thinking, oh, that's really nice quality.
And then get home and go, oops.
But anyway, this guy sells for like 18.
Cool.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Oh, this is a good piece right here. Okay.
Yes.
So this is probably one of the more valuable figurines that was in that box. And it is marked on the bottom. I don't know if I have it upside down. All right, sorry about that. We had a delivery.
Yes.
But anyway, so this is probably one of the better figurines that was in that box. It is marked Mary Spellmeyer Schooner. It is a redware, like folk art. This piece right here sells for $45 to $55.
It's amazing.
So there's little fox figurines, and she does.
Heavy.
Oh, it's heavy. It's a very good quality. And her figurines sell for pretty good money. So I was really thrilled.
It's got yellow slip on the ears.
And when I was going through the box saying, well, this is worth this is worth that, I can get 18 for that. I actually think I said I could get like 20 for that. Not realizing the significance of the name. And so that's a lot of what I do when I'm out picking is in my head, I have a general idea of what I can get for certain items. And then who the maker is determines how much more I can get for those items. Like the value of this cobalt blue bowl is such and such. The fact that it was made in Czechoslovakia, that influences the value of it. So this figurine I probably could have made like $18 to $20 on, but the significance of this name boosts the value and boosts it so much that we'll probably get $45 for it.
That's awesome.
So very thrilled with that. This piggy. Grab this one as well. Now this one is not marked anywhere. There's no markings on it. It's just another cute little pig.
I like pigs.
I like pigs too. I think this is adorable. I wish it was marked. I'm still looking over it for a mark. But this piece right here, I would expect to get like 12 to 15 for that.
It's got like a speckled look to it too.
It does. It's got a nice glaze on that. I think really that's all the good stuff here. Got this.
He's cute.
Yeah, this is probably in China, I would say. And it's just a nice quality. That's like a quality piece.
Heavy.
I know, it's a good quality piece.
Yeah.
And that piece right there, I would expect probably to get 18 to 24.
Yeah. And I like the bird. I like it.
I love
I like it. It's a parrot.
Oh, and we got this piece of Eldritch. So this has a poinsettia on it. So it's more of a Christmas planter flower pot, but it is marked Eldritch on the bottom. So this is more of a Christmas piece, but I would expect probably to get 20 to 25 for this.
What about that big blue fish pitcher?
This angelfish pitcher.
My grandfather used to breed angelfish. He did it for the local pet shops in his neighborhood in Philly.
So did my dad, but it was by accident. He would just lay eggs in the tank and then they would eat them.
Oh my god.
So this right here is made by McCoy. It has two angelfish, both on the front and back. Unfortunately, this piece has some condition issues. It has a crack on the handle and a chip down here and a chip up here. But it is an older piece, probably 1920s, 1930s. It comes in a variety of different colors. We just happen to have the blue. And in good condition, I believe this sells for $30 to $40.
So 15 to 20?
Yeah.
15 to 20 is not bad.
Yeah.
I would say half. I like the angelfish.
I like
motif.
angelfish too. And it's very subtle. Like you have to look at it to realize what they are. Like it took me a minute. I was staring at it and I'm like,
yeah, so they actually are a really tough type of fish to breed because they do eat the eggs.
Oh, yeah.
They're really ravenous. So what he would do is he would have a separate tank set next to them, and as soon as they laid their eggs on the piece of slate, he'd remove them, and they were good to go. And he'd have all the little babies in there after a couple weeks, and then the local pet shops would get angelfish. He did swordfish, mollies, and the angelfish. So it was always fun.
I like when my dad had angelfish. So I think that's really the main stuff that we got at the auction. I mean, there's a few other pieces.
Yeah, a couple other odds and ends. Nothing mind-blowingly
This piece right here
spectacular.
might be worth talking about. This right here is porcelain, but it's from Hawaii.
I picked that one up.
Yeah, you did. Dorothy, and I cannot pronounce her last name, but it is from Hawaii, and it's just a nice, I think it's plumera is the flower.
And again, no damage to the flowers.
Damage, yep.
That was what grabbed my eye about it and then I flipped it over and I saw Hawaii is what made me go, okay, that's an oddball piece. It's worth checking out.
Yeah.
For what we've got into the 20 things in this one little box, yeah, we'll keep this. And
I think that's like a 15 to 20.
There you go.
Yeah.
And it all adds up.
It does. It all adds up.
Yep.
Like, I'm always surprised. Like, I see, like, we have bids on stuff, and it's like $4, $5, $10. And then at the end of the night, it's like it all goes off, and I'm like, whoa, where did this money come from? Like, it all adds up. It really does.
Yeah, and yes, there's a lot of work involved in all of it, but it's worth it if you just keep at it and keep doing it and keep doing it and just pushing along.
Yeah. All right, so I think we're going to stop talking about auction stuff now, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Bedford Street Antique stuff. So I'm going to put our total spend up here in the corner because it wasn't very much. We didn't buy a whole lot of stuff. One of the items we bought was this little Lenox bird.
It's got an older Lenox mark on it too, doesn't it?
Yep, and we've bought these before, and usually they sell for like $15 to $20. And we paid only $4 for this one. Now, I was looking at comps just over again to see how much we had actually made on the previous ones. Now, if they're yellow, apparently they come in a pale yellow. Those ones, somebody had sold a pair of those, and they sold for like $60. This one is just ivory, but I guess if you find them in pale yellow, they sell for a lot more, so we're going to have to keep our eyes peeled.
I wonder if... So if they changed the batch of material that they were using, or if it reached an improper temperature and maybe burned it a little bit, it would have given it a different color.
Yeah.
And then a couple pieces get through, and they're a little rarer. It's kind of like a bottle. My son has a Philly bottle in his collection. They are generally it's a very common bottle. I can't even think of the name of it, but they come in aqua. And that's all you ever find is aqua. He has one in citron yellow.
Oh, wow.
And he's been offered quite a bit of money for it. He will not sell it, and I won't let him sell it. But those mistakes, those errors, those one-offs can be really good. So it's a shame you're only ivory.
I know. Give it to Juliet with her paint kit and let her go have some fun. It's a real yellow bird! So another piece that I grabbed was this beautiful piece right here. It is a square, I don't know if it'd be a cake plate or just I don't know. But it's a beautiful plate.
I think it's too much of a dip in the middle.
I know, I just realized that. But it's a beautiful serving plate, and it's got sterling overlay, and it's marked.
Every panel is marked sterling.
It is. And so a lot of the times we come across these pieces with sterling overlay, and the sterling is just faded or scraped off.
Yeah.
And so finding a piece with this vibrant sterling that doesn't even look like it was hardly used at all.
Now, don't think you're going to walk into an antique shop or a thrift store and pick these pieces up and scrap the silver off of them. Listen, folks, it's such a thin layer that by the time that you would scrape all of this off and get this off of there, you would probably have maybe 5 cents worth of silver.
And you'd ruin the plate. You'd have more money reselling the plate than you would scraping the silver off it. But I believe whenever we come across some of those silver pieces that are missing the silver, I almost wonder if someone actually tried doing that. Like, I really honestly think that sometimes.
Please don't do that.
Don't do that.
No.
There's so much more money in the actual object than scraping.
It's pretty.
It's so pretty. So this piece right here, I would expect $20 to $25 for.
The other thing I noticed on this too is it's got these like teardrops.
Yeah, oh, I know.
These little teardrops separating each of the sections. I like that. So it gives it a little extra
It's a nice
pop.
piece. I wish I could figure out who makes it, but I couldn't find a maker. This is the other piece that we got, and it is melt glass. This might be a piece that I end up holding on to. I don't know. I'm undecided about it. I feel like spring is going to be a melt glass season for me.
There's gonna be plenty of milk glass. I promise.
I might decorate with melt glass this season. I don't know.
Really?
I'm slowly accepting it. Oh, stop. It's good for decorating. It's not good for resale. And that's the great thing about it is I can get it super cheap because it's not good for resale, but I can buy it.
Right. And then when we're done with it, we can like donate it somewhere.
Oh, boy. So this piece right here, I believe is McKee. And the reason I think that is because it has this incised design on the bottom. And I've also noticed that a lot of their designs are incised.
It's a 4-leaf clover.
But I'm not familiar with this design, and I couldn't find another like it. I take that back. I did find one like it, but it wasn't attributed to any specific company. It was just listed as a bowl, and it had the same pattern, and they didn't name the pattern. So I've never seen that pattern before, and I thought, this is unique, and I think I need to have it. So we paid $9 for that. We paid $4 for the bird. I think we paid $12 for this.
I like the pattern on this.
I like it too.
I do.
And it's got florals on it, so it is kind of spring-like.
Yes. And
the owl.
Your last piece from the...
Gimme.
Hold on, I'm going over the space. I can't see it. Just tease them a little bit. I'm going to tease them. Make them look at Baby Yoda instead.
So Andrew actually found this piece. I do believe it's modern. It's probably a Pier 1 piece or something like that. But...
I came out of Paul's booth.
Yes. I think Oliver... No. The bowl did.
Yeah.
The milk glass bowl and the owl were both.
Yeah.
But I like owls. As you can see, I've got quite a few of them.
Ashton.
Oh! Hi, Ashton. Go back and play your game, sick child. He's got a reoccurrence of strep. I know, it's a long video. He's got a reoccurrence of strep, that poor kid. But anyway, this, he scared me. I didn't realize he was standing there. All of a sudden I see this hand reaching and I'm like, what? That was terrifying. I'm probably going to keep this because I've got lots of owls and he'll fit.
I know. I spotted him and he was what, $8? Yeah.
He fits right in.
He works with all that blue you got going on there and the other owl.
Look, he fits right in.
Yep. So I'm okay with that.
Anyway, that's everything that we've got over the past few days.
Yes.
I think we did all right. I'm pretty excited to see how well this auction stuff does. I know it's gonna do well. Oh,
I missed that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like this, and you know what? This has got. It's called Somebody's Home.
Somebody's Home original watercolor.
Priced at $150.
Yeah, the original price on this painting was $150.
I don't know who the artist is.
And I don't know why they would call it Somebody's Home when it looks like a mill.
The frame is made in Mexico.
A lot of frames are.
Well, this one definitely is. Hencho in Mexico.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know. I was just like, I didn't want to leave it behind and see it get tossed.
Yeah.
And Andrew's like, do you want this? And I'm like, sure. I mean, it's not really my style of painting. And I look at it and I see somebody with a palette. And
I'm looking at the canvas and the way it's mounted in here. And there's really no room for a signature to be on the bottom anywhere.
Yeah.
The way this is set up.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, but it is a nice piece of artwork just to hang on the wall.
Yeah.
And it's got a warm tone to it, so I like that about it. And I couldn't see it just tossed. I mean, somebody put a lot of work and effort into that.
Yeah,
And
they've done a nice job on that.
it's somebody's home. I don't think we're gonna get $150 for it.
I don't want $150 for
I would
it.
expect probably to get $25 to $30 for that.
I would be happy with that. And then it could be in somebody's home.
It could be in your home. This isn't a sales pitch. All right, so that is pretty much everything that we got at the auction. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tomorrow, I'm not sure what we're doing yet. I haven't gotten that far. But I will see you tomorrow.
Maybe. Probably.
Maybe. Probably. Hopefully.
We should. I think we got something. Maybe.
I'm sure we'll come up with something. We'll see you later. Bye.
My family calls it my superpower. It's my ability to see value in things that other people might overlook.